Cancer. Welcome to your reading for the week of May 23rd, and I haven't even drawn your cards yet, so normally I do that before I record, but let's do it right now so we can see what is going on for you this week. Let's get a clarifier on that. Alright, so very interesting. Let's see here. So this week you start off with the Joker. The Joker is a good card. It represents working really hard, juggling a lot of things, having a lot on your plate, needing to work really hard as well, having a lot to do, being very busy, having a lot of different things. Joker type people will sometimes have multiple jobs that they need to do. Plus they'll be doing things on the side. So you could be equally as busy. You could have multiple jobs plus hobbies and things like that you're trying to get done this week. And the thing about the Joker is it just comes up when it basically lets us know that we have enough energy to do that. It's kind of a card that gives us the energy to do a bunch of different things, to have a bunch going on. And it says that you can juggle all that and you'll be fine. So it's kind of like I said, it can be not such an exciting card. It can actually be a very exciting card, but it can also just be a card that says, hey, you have enough energy to do everything that you want to do this week, and that's kind of what I'm getting off of this card. Next, you have the Nine of Hearts. Very good card. Represents getting something you want. So, kind of another really good energy. It's similar to the Nine of Cups in the Tarot. It's just a wish card saying that you will get something you've been wishing for, or some sort of circumstance could come along that will help you get something that you've been wishing for. It is a card of just wishing for something and having it happen. It's also a good love card as well. Mostly for those of you that are already in a relationship, this card has to do with love getting more serious, deeper love, and even commitments as well. Kind of engagement and anything along those lines with this card. Having said that, next you have the Two of Spades, which is a card of separation. But to me, the Two of Spades is more a card of separating away from something, not necessarily a person. It could be that maybe a lot of you have two jobs, and maybe now you're getting ready to separate away from one of those jobs, and it's you just need more time for yourself. That's the thing to think about with twos, is that twos have a lot to do with you and yourself, and talking to yourself, and working on yourself, and working on your own energy, and things like that. So a lot of the times, I think other readers maybe get this wrong, maybe, I don't know, but it's just a feeling I have about twos, that sometimes they can just represent separating away from something, again, to work on yourself, to make sure that you're okay, that things are going well with you, and also needing to get comfortable, being alone in a lot of ways, because, again, Two of Spades is you against yourself in a lot of ways. It's you facing your own demons, you facing kind of your own darkness and things like that. It's a very interesting card, and kind of what led me to that also is this Ace of Spades coming up. Ace of Spades is a card of new beginnings, new things happening, new energies, and it's a very transformative card. It's a very good card as well, and it represents kind of death in Tarot as well. You have a lot of similar cards here to the Tarot this week, but it usually represents the ending of something. So again, with that Two of Spades, something ending, needing to break away from something, and but this can very much be a death card and a rebirth card this week. A lot of rebirth type energy, which you have a lot of that kind of going on for you this week. So it should be a rather exciting week. But it's also a card of new beginnings, so be on the lookout for any new beginnings. Next, you have the Four of Spades, which represents looking at foundations and trying to get more comfortable. Again, with this whole thing about you trying to get more comfortable with yourself, maybe a lot of you are trying to figure out who you really are, what you're trying to become, who you are trying to connect with, and what you want the rest of your life to look like. So, Four of Spades, let's back up a little bit here and just say that Four of Spades represents comfort and how we create comfort for ourselves in life. So a lot of you could be asking yourselves those questions, how could I be more comfortable? What do I need to do to remove stress from my life? What do I need to do to create more financial stability? And what makes you comfortable is going to be different for everybody, right? Everybody has different levels of comfort and different ways they become comfortable. So again, a lot of you could be asking those questions. I do think it is almost for you. It's kind of weird because it almost is like it's a very solitary, alone week where you're going to be focusing on yourself. I don't know how else to say it, but I think it'll be a really good thing, if anything else. You have the Jack of Spades coming up next. Needing to be careful of people who could be a little bit tricky this week. Avoid tricky people. Avoid get-rich-quick schemes. Avoid, I don't know, even avoid salesmen in a lot of ways. Even though, there's nothing wrong with salesmen, and salespeople, I should say. But it's definitely, there's like a tricky type energy, and this card can also represent not seeing everything that you need to see on making some decision. So again, if you're not feeling comfortable, and if there's another person involved and they're tricky on something, then the message came in as sales. So just know that maybe some of you are going to look at a car or something like that. But definitely try to avoid those circumstances, or just make sure that you really look into everything, that you have all the details. And if somebody's like too pushy or too evasive or anything like that, avoid the situation. And finally, you come up. Jack of Hearts represents Cancer or water sign. So this represents you potentially like having a lot of fun this week. It is a fun card, a card of having fun. It's also a card of admirers, so some of you could have an admirer out there this week as well, but it's a very good card. But looks like an interesting week. Again, mostly focusing on yourself. I think that'll be important for you this week. But thank you for watching, and enjoy.